Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. We begin this evening with escalating tensions over the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military says it fired on Iranian forces and sank 6 small boats as it moved to reopen the strait. This comes as the military says 2 U.S.-flagged merchant ships successfully passed through the critical waterway. And here at home, Lee Waldman reports oil prices continue to rise.
The U.S. Central Command is touting the success of 2 U.S.-flagged merchant vessels safely navigating through the Strait of Hormuz.
My hat's off to the merchant captains who made that decision to go evidently unescorted through the strait.
The U.S. Navy guided missile destroyers are working in support of President Donald Trump's newly announced Project Freedom. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said, "For the good of Iran, the Middle East, and the United States, we have told these countries that we will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways." This is all coming during prolonged negotiations and inflammatory rhetoric between the Trump administration and Iran.
They want to make a deal. They're decimated. They're having a hard time figuring out who their leader is.
Anything we can do to undermine that control is a good thing. But let's remember that this was not an issue before this war.
Iran's Navy today denied the U.S. reports and said no commercial ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz, according to Iranian state media. While a top Iranian military official warned, quote, any foreign military force, especially the invading American army, will be attacked if they try to approach or enter the strait. CENTCOM denied a U.S. vessel was struck by Iranian missiles after Iranian state media claimed it happened. If the Strait of Hormuz does not reopen soon, experts worry U.S. gas could hit $5 a gallon. Prices have skyrocketed to $4.46 a gallon on Monday, up 35 cents from just a week ago, according to AAA. Lee Waldman, KPBS News.
6 weeks after leaving San Diego, the 2,500 Marines on the USS Boxer are approaching the Middle East. When the Boxer left San Diego in March, reports said it was bound for the Middle East. Ship spotters placed the ship in the Malacca Strait, sailing toward the Indian Ocean on Thursday. Marines from Camp Pendleton are deployed with the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit on the Boxer. The ship's arrival adds to the recent buildup of forces amidst a ceasefire with Iran. Mail ballots in California's primary election are going out today. San Diego's Democratic members of Congress are using the occasion to warn against threats to voting rights. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen has more.
The Republican-sponsored SAVE Act would impose new requirements for proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections. It passed the House of Representatives in February. Supporters argue it's necessary to prevent voter fraud. Congressman Scott Peters said the bill's true intent is to help Republicans by making it harder to vote.
Only half of Americans have a passport. Millions of Americans don't have easy access to birth certificates. The cost and time of obtaining necessary documents and traveling to various offices would deter millions of working-class Americans from voting.
Independent analyses show voter fraud is exceptionally rare in the United States. President Trump has been pressuring Republicans to pass the SAVE Act, repeating the false claim that votes from non-citizens cost him the election in 2020.
As many as 69 million women won't be able to vote if this law were to pass because their married name would be different from the name on their citizenship documents. And our service members, 2,500 of whom based in San Diego and are right now off the coast of Iran, would be separated from their essential documents and unable to register to vote.
The SAVE Act is unlikely to pass the Senate, where it needs Democratic support to overcome a filibuster. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
San Diego County voters could decide to raise the sales tax by half a cent this November. The funds would go toward affordable childcare, wildfire prevention, and cross-border sewage fixes. KPBS reporter Tammy Murka spoke with supporters.
Firefighters, healthcare workers, and South County residents unloaded a truckload of boxes outside the San Diego County Registrar of Voters today. Inside the boxes were
167,000 signatures right here at the ROV.
Crystal Irving says that's enough signatures to qualify a county-wide half-cent sales tax on the November ballot. She's the president of SCIU Local 221. The labor union is one of several unions and advocacy groups proposing the measure.
People stepped up, signed their names, and said clearly, we are not going to wait for Washington or Sacramento to protect us. San Diego is going to protect San Diego.
The tax is expected to raise $360 million annually. Funds would go toward wildfire preparedness, such as upgrading firefighting equipment, affordable childcare, including vouchers for families, and healthcare for uninsured residents. The County Board of Supervisors would have to decide where to allocate the money. It would also pay for infrastructure projects in the Tijuana River Valley related to the cross-border sewage crisis.
And we haven't seen sustainable funding from Washington or Sacramento. It's time for us to develop this local fund, which is accountable by community members and will transparently go to solving the pollution crisis.
The measure proposes creating a citizen oversight committee to ensure the tax revenue is spent accordingly. Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
Well, we have some somewhat late showers, late in terms of deep into the spring. Typically, we're transitioning to dry weather by now, but we're still dealing with some rain, even some snow in the mountains. Look at that there, Mount Laguna 34 with some wet snow. And the storm system is going to be gradually moving inland for Tuesday, but we'll still see some cool air, a breeze, and some rain showers locally for our Tuesday, with some heavy snow breaking out into Denver, by the way, with this storm. But we'll take a look at that local extended forecast coming up.
Today is the first day the San Diego City Council is coming together to talk about how to close a $118 million deficit. The public comment section begins at 6 o'clock at tonight's budget meeting. Mayor Todd Gloria sent a memo to the City Council listing options on how to cut at libraries and rec centers. Starting with libraries, one option focuses on preserving hours in underserved communities while cutting hours at 14 other libraries. Option 2 would be more even cuts across the city, with most locations losing hours on Saturdays and Mondays. The third option would be to fully close the North Claremont Library, which raises concerns for the San Diego Library Foundation.
To close even one library, that would disproportionately affect the residents of this neighborhood. The next two libraries are nearly 3 miles and 2 canyons away. So, we're taking away a neighborhood resource for children, youth, and families that use these buildings every single day.
And as for rec centers, there are 8 that would close no matter what option is chosen, 4 of them in District 2. The mayor is not endorsing any of the options to cut libraries or rec centers. There's more budget trouble coming for the city of San Diego. Revenue from the recent fee for trash pickup is falling short and could go away completely. For this week's edition of Why It Matters, Voice of San Diego Scott Lewis explains.
City of San Diego budget crunchers recently noticed something. More people had chosen smaller trash bins than they estimated would. And that means they will pay a smaller trash fee. And that means the city will collect about $9 million less next year than they planned. It's going to add to the city's ongoing struggles with its structural budget deficit. But something much more painful could be coming. The Lincoln Club, a conservative political action committee, reported it is on track to collect the signatures needed to put a repeal of the city's trash fee on the ballot. They only need just more than 20,000 signatures, and that's much easier than any other signature gathering effort. That's because the fee was imposed as part of California's regulation on fees, which allows them to be put on the ballot for repeal by citizens with signatures from just 5% of the city's voters. The city's independent budget analyst told us the trash fee now makes about the same amount of money for the city needed to run the entire library system. If the fee is repealed, that money disappears. Now, critics say that's the city's problem. They say the city misled voters and should cut waste. The fee is almost twice as high as city analysts originally said when voters approved the process in 2022. But one thing is true, this is a meteor heading toward the city's budget. All the talk right now about the cuts to arts, rec centers, libraries, and other city services is meaningless when compared to what is coming if they put a measure on the ballot that repeals the fee entirely and voters approve it. About half of the city's voters already pay private companies for trash service, and those voters may not be motivated to support repealing the fee for their neighbors. But it is almost certain to make the ballot, and it will have major impacts if passed. For Voice San Diego, I'm Scott Lewis, and that's why it matters.
Voice of San Diego is one of our partners for the Public Matters Initiative. You can learn more at kpbs.org/Public Matters. California's 48th Congressional District was redrawn last November with Prop 50 to give Democrats an advantage. But Republicans in San Diego County think they have a strong candidate in Supervisor Jim Desmond. Public Matters reporter Jake Gotta spoke with several Democrats running against him who offered competing messages on affordability. And Jake joins me now. Welcome, Jake.
No, thanks for having me.
So tell us, what impact did Prop 50 have ahead of the June primary?
So there used to be more registered Republicans in the 48th district than Democrats. Prop 50 switched that, and now there's more Democrats registered in the district than there are Republicans. And so Democrats are looking at that as one of the seats that they want to flip blue so that they can retake control of Congress and put a check on the Trump administration. The current Republican holding that seat, Darrell Issa, he's chosen not to run again in this redrawn district, but he's endorsed County Supervisor Jim Desmond as his replacement.
So with Jim Desmond on the Republican side, who are the Democrats running against him?
Well, there's a lot of candidates, and I spoke with six Democrats who have qualified for this ballot, and they all shared competing messages on affordability and tackling the state's cost of living. And here's Councilmember Marnie Von Wilpert and what she said about building affordable housing.
We need to prioritize building actual affordable housing in this country. We've done that at the San Diego City Council. We did the Affordable Housing Now permit, where we put affordable developers to the front of the permit line and made sure we actually got them through our bureaucracy quicker so they can get back to the business of building housing. We're going to do the same thing in Congress.
And another candidate, Amar Campo-Najjar, he had some ideas about taxes and the minimum wage.
What I want to do is increase the federal minimum wage to $30. I want to increase the federal wealth tax so we could plug those resources into our schools, into our hospitals, into our communities, into fixing our roads, into providing community services people desperately need.
So Jake, there seems to be a lot of different ideas for tackling this affordability issue. So tell us, did anything stick out to you?
Yeah, so, building affordable housing, raising wages, those are solid ideas for how to address cost of living, but they're not exactly new ideas, right? Mm-hmm. But there actually was one candidate, Brandon Riker, who had a really interesting idea for how to address this, and we have a clip.
So what I'm proposing is FICA tax, which is Social Security tax that we all pay on a W-2 up to $184,000 a year. I'm calling for eliminating the cap to make sure that the wealthy pay their fair share to help make Social Security solvent, but at the same time, making the first $50,000 tax-free. That's cash back into every worker's pocket.
So that's an interesting way to cut taxes on the workers, but also raise them on the wealthy that I hadn't really heard before. Another candidate, Karina Contreras, a Vista City Council member, she said that one of her focuses would be putting lots of money from federal dollars into building affordable housing that's connected to transit. And that would actually help our struggling transit agencies as well with some of their revenue problems.
So what about Jim Desmond? Did he have anything to say about how to address this affordability issue?
Well, I tried really hard to get Jim Desmond to agree to an interview with me, but he didn't respond to multiple requests for comment. But his campaign website does say that he would tackle affordability as well. His plan is sort of the more standard Republican plan to cut taxes and regulations, especially those on businesses, and get government out of the way.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for this breakdown. We really do appreciate it.
No problem.
And the primary election is on June 2nd, and ballots are going out to all registered voters in San Diego County. For more on the races to watch and where to cast your ballot, you can check out the KPBS Voter Hub. Visit kpbs.org/vote.
I'm Amna Navaz. Tonight on the NewsHour, Iran fires on American warships in the Strait of Hormuz. That's coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
For the 250th birthday of the United States this year, KPBS is looking back on the San Diego region's own history. In part 2 of his report on Miramar, KPBS military reporter Andrew Dyer says after World War II, the base could have been home to a new airport.
San Diego historian Jim Newland says post-war sprawl makes it hard to imagine what the Miramar area looked like immediately after World War II.
There really was no developed communities north of what today we would say is Mission Valley.
The Marine base at Miramar was in the sticks. With the war over and the former Camp Elliott units moved to Camp Pendleton, the base was closed. That's when there was talk of moving the airport to Miramar.
It was still undeveloped area. And so that's sort of interesting, in people trying to understand just how, far out of town it was, right? It was out there.
But city leaders at the time didn't think anyone would want to travel that far to go to the airport.
Except in late 40s, it was still too far out of town, and they decided, it's too far.
Colonel Eric Herman is the commanding officer of MCAS Miramar today. He's thankful city leaders were somewhat short-sighted.
They could have had this, and I'm glad that they didn't take us up on that.
The Marines did turn over some excess parts of Camp Elliott. Terra Santa and Mission Trails occupy lands once part of the camp.
If your imagination's working right, you're now looking at one of the fastest growing cities in America.
San Diego's post-war economy boomed. Aviation manufacturers employed thousands of people. In Kearney Mesa, General Dynamics opened a massive plant called Convair Astronautics. That's where they began developing and building the first ever intercontinental ballistic missile, the Atlas. And they needed a place to test it. We are deep in East Miramar, and clearly we're not the first people here, but the Marines say this area is extremely off limits. Not only is it dangerous, but there is decades worth of unexploded ordnance potentially all around us. And every now and then the Marines do find some. This is the Sycamore Canyon Rocket Test Facility. It's completely abandoned today, but in the 1950s, it's where the Air Force tested the Atlas missile. It was the first ever intercontinental ballistic missile. This entire complex is mostly underground. This is the exhaust vent where the rocket exhaust would fire when they tested the rockets. The facility looks like something out of a zombie apocalypse video game. Bullet holes, rusted metal, and decades of graffiti are all that's left today. But during the early days of the Cold War, this was where they tested the cutting edge of military tech. And it was top secret. The test site opened in the 1950s and was turned over to NASA in 1966. It was abandoned by 1969.
Weapons and those technologies become obsolete so fast.
By then, Miramar was under control of the Navy. Known as Fighter Town, USA, it was home to the Navy's elite air combat school, Top Gun. At the end of the Cold War, the Defense Department was downsizing its bases. All of them were on the chopping block, including Miramar.
Just about everything was on the consideration list, is my understanding. And I think that's why there was such a key fight.
Instead, the Marines closed air stations Tustin and El Toro in Orange County and moved to Miramar. The Navy moved its fighter wings to Lemoore in Central California. Today, the base is home to the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. Marine F-35s from the base deploy on San Diego's aircraft carriers. There's 15,000 acres of the base east of the 15. Herman says they're special.
Going 15 south down to San Diego, you see this expansive, massive, unimproved land. You don't see houses, you don't see shopping centers, and it's kind of really special for us.
He says units from all over come to train at East Miramar.
It's kind of best left, unimproved, to give that kind of sense of some ruggedness and really prepare folks for what they may see in a non-built-up way.
Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
The collapse of Spirit Airlines just threw more uncertainty into what was already shaping up as a chaotic summer travel season. Karen Kafa has a look at the fallout and what's ahead for summer travel.
Ahead of a summer when airfares were already expected to climb due to the ongoing conflict between the U.S. and Iran, competition just got tighter.
We are in for not just a turbulent time because of the higher jet fuel prices, but with Spirit out of the market, that's one fewer competitor, really setting the bar.
An average of 300 flights and 60,000 potential passengers per day in the next month alone will be impacted by the shutdown of Spirit Airlines. That means fewer open seats across the industry and fewer incentives for other airlines to keep fares low in markets the budget carrier has now exited.
Pretty much anyone who did have a Spirit Airlines ticket is going to need to be looking for all new fares, and there won't be discounts really if you're looking deeper into the summer for travel.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said Spirit passengers will receive refunds.
They have a reserve fund. You will be refunded to your original form of payment if you bought directly from Spirit.
And Spirit says customers who book through third-party sites or travel agents should reach out to those entities to facilitate refunds. Other airlines are offering so-called rescue fares for Spirit passengers for immediate travel, but Katie Nastro of travel website Going says they're limited.
There's not an endless supply of seats to rebook on, and we're even hearing of some stranded passengers in select markets like Orlando, for example, that are waiting, a few days to get rebooked.
Spirit had plans to emerge from a second bankruptcy in February, but soaring jet fuel prices took a toll on the smaller budget carrier. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, we do have a lot to talk about in the short term with some rain showers. It's late in the season, but we're still into it here. Scattered rain showers, less than 0.2 of an inch of rain for most of us. A lot of us seeing about 1/10 of an inch, maybe 0.2 of an inch. There's a little snow in the mountains. It's also very breezy there, and we're going to be dealing with some cool weather lingering through Tuesday. But then later in the week, we're going to turn brighter and drier, and at the end of this forecast, we'll get a little preview of early next week. Very warm then. But a brief shower or two tonight, 57 your anticipated low. Our storm system is going to be gradually moving inland. So as the snow increases into Colorado and Wyoming, we're dealing with some lingering rain showers for us. Still breezy, still damp, and still cool. Locally, there we are with the showers. They're going to be most numerous on the west-facing slopes of the mountains, but we're going to see a few showers even for the coastal areas as well. So there we go through the overnight hours into Tuesday morning. Some lingering showers up to the north into parts of Orange County and maybe up near Solana Beach and other areas. We will turn drier, though, into midweek. You can see the clouds will be kind of clinging to the coastline, but they're going to be those shallow marine layer clouds and nothing with much vertical extent. And therefore, we're not going to see any more rain from midweek on. But still, this Tuesday, we're into it. We got rain showers around. Mount Laguna back over to rain as opposed to that rain-snow mix tonight. Daytime rain showers. Borrego Springs, rain showers into Escondido and Oceanside, Chula Vista. San Diego, Wednesday, a decisive shift in the wind here. We're turning drier and brighter across the region as that snow continues to fall heavily into Colorado. And Thursday, turning warmer and warmer, showers way up into the northern Rockies. By the way, an early preview of next week. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, very warm in the southwest. We're going to have some more temperate weather along the immediate coastline, but it's going to get very warm inland early next week. In the meantime, upper 60s and showers for Tuesday. Cool weather out there. Temperatures ramping up, turning brighter and drier by Wednesday and Thursday. A pretty nice second half of the week. Inland areas, there are the showers for Tuesday. We're going to gain about 5 degrees from that cool Tuesday to a warmer Wednesday. Another 5 degrees into Thursday. Another 4 to 6 degrees into the weekend. A warming trend builds into early next week. In the mountains, that's also the case. There you can see some, there might be a little overnight wet snow, but rain showers during the day Tuesday. Sunny, gaining 10 degrees into Wednesday. We're tacking on another 9 degrees into Thursday. The warming trend continues to win out. A big shift in the weather. And in the deserts, there are even a few showers reaching the desert floor. But look at this, about a 32-degree jump from that cool, damp Tuesday to a bright and hot and sunny Saturday, 103 on the horizon. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Cornish for KPBS News.
Well, it's official. The Padres are getting new owners. A new ownership group led by billionaire partners Kwanza Jones and Jose Feliciano will take control of the team pending approval by Major League Baseball. KPBS reporter Andrew Dyer says there is cause for optimism for Padres fans.
The deal announced over the weekend is the highest price ever paid for a Major League Baseball team, reportedly $3.9 billion. Now, that is $1.5 billion more than the second highest. That was when the New York Mets sold in 2020 for $2.4 billion. San Diego sportscaster Craig Elston has covered the Padres for almost 30 years, most recently as host of the Padres Hot Tub podcast. He says it wouldn't make sense for anyone to invest money like that in the team just to sell it for parts.
You don't buy in to a situation like this with a team that has a lot of debt, a lot of payroll, huge attendance, a beautiful ballpark. You don't buy this to strip it and flip it.
The New York Times says Jones and Feliciano are joined by other investors, including the Sycuan Band of the Kumeyaay Nation and former Chargers quarterback Drew Brees. Elston says there are economic factors on the horizon that could benefit the team. The current MLB collective bargaining agreement expires after this season, and a new broadcast deal could be on the horizon in 2028.
Between the CBA in 27 and the consolidation, in theory, of television rights in 28, there's a pathway for things to even out in terms of the Padres' perennial underdog status compared to LA.
The Seidler family has owned the team since 2012, and some are reportedly staying on as minority owners. Control of the team and its future has been contentious since the death of former chairman Peter Seidler in 2023. Elson says fans should welcome a change at the top.
On this most basic level, the current owners don't
of spending to compete for a World Series title.
The Padres sold because they're so attractive, and having owners that are willing to invest in the project as it is should be attractive to Padres fans as well, in my opinion.
He says that investment could mean new players before the trade deadline if the new ownership group is willing to put up a little more money. That money is exactly what it's going to take if the Padres want to keep up with the deep-pocketed Dodgers up the freeway. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
Apologies for that tech problem there, but you can find that story and all of our stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Good night.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.